live sports being available, it's going to be a whole lot of talk of top tens lists, and with the Jordan Last Dance docu series is happening, you're going to see a whole lot of like everybody's going to have an opinion on the top 10 players of all time list, or their top 10 players of all time list. So right now we're going to look at Ebro in the mornings from Hot 97, their top 10 NBA players of all times. My name is Jeff. Welcome to More Reactions. Let's get started.
From New York to the world, subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
I saw Rosenberg get exhausted with the ranking, a list, a ranking of people. Annoyed by it. You know, he's a ranker.
He is a ranker.
He's the ranker. Everything's got a ranking. He loves a ranking.
Rosenberg
ranking is life, man.
Rosenberg ranking.
I think it's a male thing, man. I think men just we love ranking.
ranking.
Like,
He loves
yeah,
it.
it's
And ESPN just put out a new greatest NBA players all time, right?
Yes. Well, I think they were going to do a big one next year for 75 years. So they did 74 because it's been 74 years and people need content. So 74 it is.
And
I think
number 10,
ESPN, I think Bleacher Report did
Shaquille
one.
O'Neal. Number 9, Kobe Bryant. 8, Tim Duncan. 7, Larry Bird. 6, Wilt Chamberlain. 5, Magic Johnson. 4, Bill Russell. 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 2, LeBron James. And number 1, His Airness, Michael Jordan. I don't have a problem with this list. I mean, maybe you can shuffle here and there.
It's not. I don't have.
Why
big
was
problem.
Kobe so number 9?
There's just not a lot of room to move up higher. I mean,
It's tough, man.
I would argue that maybe you could put Kobe up 2 spots and like replace Bird with Kobe, maybe, but that's like very iffy and difficult. You
And
know?
then the other part, Laura
What is it
Stiles,
based on?
It's based on points,
Nothing.
Points, chips, impact,
How do you guys
Nothing.
feel about LeBron at number 2?
Yeah,
That
to me,
was
Bron. I got Bron at
Stats-wise,
2.
words.
LeBron
Stats-wise,
ahead of
with the chance,
LeBron
with the
ahead
chance
of
to get
Wilt
into one.
and Kareem. It's tough, man.
If he's not one already, he's
And I
2.
feel
I'm gonna
like-
say 2.
I almost feel like Kobe, not
Reluctantly.
Kobe should be higher, but I feel like Kobe should be closer to LeBron.
Even though I do
I hear
believe
it.
that
Now, how do you
LeBron
get there?
James is the overall
I don't
better
know how you
basketball
get
player
there.
than Michael
You know what
Jordan.
I'm saying?
That's the hard part.
Yeah, I don't. Kobe being that far back from
Yeah.
LeBron does feel a little crazy, but there's
But it's not like you're talking about fractions when you're talking about this top
Yeah,
10.
the list is
You're
fine. You
talking
can,
about-
like you said, you
I
can
mean,
shuffle
yes, the ranking
some
looks a
dudes
lot
here and
different,
there.
But yet, this is the greatest in the world, the greatest we've ever seen. You're talking about fractions of differences. And the distance between Kobe and LeBron on this list looks like a lot, but in reality, when you get
It's
down
not.
to
Right.
It's not.
the
It's
stats,
just
it ain't.
names, man.
It ain't.
They're all close.
it just isn't.
Kareem is
between
he's
LeBron
3.
and
Like
Kareem, the difference,
his total body work from
Michael
high
Jordan
school to
and-
college
it's also
to
about how you see
NBA.
players because their top 10, half of it's big men.
He won on
It's a
every
very
level,
big man
every
heavy list. And there are a lot of
level,
people, like
literally.
fans who we don't rank big men as high because the way they play the game doesn't excite you the same way.
But their stats are crazy.
But their stats are
stats
crazy.
and chips and impact on the team.
So
and,
I would say Elijah. I guess
a
Elijah
lot,
would be
a lot
10.
of big men also, if you notice on this list, had long runs. They were durable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Also, I'll
true.
tell you when he gets outside of that,
And that's
top
not
10,
that's not normal
I
now.
don't know how I feel about Steph and KD at 13 and 14. Steph is not the 13th greatest player of all time, guys. I'm sorry, he's not. He's super dope, and he's transformative. He's changed the game.
Yes.
He's amazing. I
But
do
maybe
not
that's
think,
why they ranked him
That's
higher.
why he's
Plus,
there.
Throw what you just said plus chips.
Plus unanimous
Hear you.
MVP.
That's tough for me.
And how many?
That
and
was
how
the
many
greatest
players,
season we've ever seen.
How many players
Outside of losing,
are part of
being up 3-1 and losing.
franchises, legacy?
What he's the anchor of it, the
Yes.
anchor of a legacy that great. I hear you. It's just, but in your mind, you
No,
think
in
Steph
my
Curry's
mind,
not the 13th
I
greatest
wouldn't,
player.
wouldn't have put him there. But now that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
and the way he's changed the game,
He
And by the way,
changed the game.
Pippen being ahead of Barkley is an absolute joke. Absolute joke to me. I'm sorry. Pippen's amazing. Nope.
Barkley.
Not when you had it by yourself. You were
Yep.
cool by yourself. You
Cool.
were cool. Charles Barkley literally was an absolute stud his entire career. Brought the Suns to the within inches of winning a championship.
Yeah.
But
Chuck, and his numbers are so much better than Scotty's.
Chuck has two championships. He might crack the top 10.
Yes, exactly. Chuck has a ring or two. He's up there at
yes,
12,
I
11.
agree with that. But guess what? He don't.
Yep.
But how many does Scotty have without the greatest player who ever lived?
Right, but is the greatest player who ever lived the greatest player who ever lived without Scotty?
Honestly, you want me to answer?
Facts.
Yes.
I
truly
think
believe
so.
that.
I think the answer is yes, but would he have been as great? He had a guy, Jordan had the luxury of having a guy who was so humble and so just wanting to be on a team and be a part of something great.
Y'all
Pippen
undervalue
was just,
that.
I mean, even when you watch the Last Dance and you're talking about this guy who just never even got paid.
He never.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that without Scottie Pippen, Jordan might be Barkley.
That's
he
a
wins.
stretch.
I don't
That's a
think he
stretch.
wins. You think he wins that many? Think about it.
Not that many, but he's
He
got.
don't win that.
he's
He
getting
ain't
three.
winning
He's
6
getting
without
3 or
Pippen.
4.
3?
Yeah.
Because he's
Two.
still
I don't know about that, bro.
He would have found someone else. And the magic of Jordan at a certain point, and they
Listen,
talk
but you
about
got-
it in The Last Dance, the magic of Jordan at a certain point was that Jordan was defensively solid.
It's not a lot of
Solid.
dudes
So
who could
incredible.
have in that
He led the
era.
league.
It's not a lot of
Don't
dudes
forget,
who
though, that
who
year
could
that
have
Jordan
played and
didn't
meshed
play
well
and
with
Scottie
Michael
did,
Jordan.
Scottie had
The
an
way
MVP season.
he operated his
Yeah, then he got to
business.
the playoffs and was
And
big.
fell
Yeah.
apart, bailed.
Of course, yeah, but that just to show you that he could.
What
carry
other
a team.
superstar
He could.
Not
He
would
just
everybody
play
couldn't
the
can do
win.
Pippen
that.
role
He
But,
couldn't
like,
the
win.
way
to have
Pippen
a-
played?
to have a
Forrest
player
Grant
like
got
that
up out of there.
on your side.
I agree with you,
Yeah, but-
Cass.
Now
Jordan
they
could
replaced him
win.
with Dennis Rodman, the greatest
and he
rebounder
carried
and
teams
one of the
somewhat far
maybe
in
greatest
Portland and
defensive player of all time.
You know,
But not the same way.
no, of course not. He's not. Jordan.
But
I'm not
look
saying
what we
he's
talking
that.
about.
I'm just saying that caliber
Two of the
a
greatest
player that had
defenders
the luxury
ever
to play with somebody of
to
that
ever put
caliber,
on gym shoes.
I'll tell you this right now.
way.
I'll tell you
And
this right
Rodman.
now. Scotty is a great player. Let me tell you, Ebro, some of the names he's ahead of, okay? He's at 21. Behind him, Elgin Baylor, Charles Barkley, David Robinson, Kawhi Leonard, Dwayne Wade, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Even
John
Giannis ain't ready.
Stockton,
That
Allen
Kawhi
Iverson,
conversation.
Steve Nash, Isaiah Thomas.
That
is
Kawhi
right behind
conversation.
him.
Jaya
James Harden,
Thomas.
John Havlicek. I mean, these
He's
are
not better
great.
than
Jason
Zeke,
Kidd,
bro.
all behind
Kidd.
Pippen. It's tough,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I see why they are.
That
though.
Kawhi
Many
Leonard
of them.
conversation
The
is,
Barkley one, I agree
listen,
with
man,
you on.
it's time to be
You know,
had.
It's tough when Pippen got those chips, and he is a part of the Jordan. Like,
But
was
Isaiah
Jordan and Pippen.
Isaiah was
got
I gotta
back-to-back.
see where Kawhi
back
landed
to back,
because
and he was the lead
so he's
player.
got to be
Yes,
top 20.
true.
That's tough, man. 10 spots
Today.
made this list. Jordan?
Dude walked into
Well,
Toronto and won a
Jordan might
chip.
have made that call like he made other calls.
Exactly.
He
Isaiah was like
"Yo,
6'1".
You see this Last Dance documentary getting
That's
all these
crazy
ratings?
to me.
Make sure this list is right. I want Isaiah way in the back.
Well, that's
You
and
know
that's
the drill.
and
Got
that's one
rid
of
of
the things-
DeRozan.
that's one of the
Insert
things we haven't
Kawhi
talked
wins
about
the
when
chip.
it comes to,
You know the drill with Isaiah. Don't have him nowhere near.
But that's one of the
nothing.
that's one of the
Put him
interesting
behind
things
Pippen.
about the doc is that like people are taking it in such different ways. Like I find it to me what I'm loving the most about it is that I didn't realize how complicated Jordan was. He's such an interesting person. But man, there are people who come away just being like, I love Jordan, man. I really relate to him. And I'm like, this man's a psychopath. A bona fide
He's a sociopath.
psychopath.
He really
Yo, I
is.
saw myself in Jordan.
Well,
Bona
guess what?
fide psychopath.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you think of yourself as a psychopath because you're not actually. That's what people say. They say, I see myself. And I'm like, well, I see you in real life. Guess what? You're not.
Right, but I see where if I'm not, I got a great team and I got a great family and I come from a different, I'm not going to let myself go all the way off like Michael Jordan did in many cases in his life.
Again,
but-
that's the being a good person part.
Right, but in Michael Jordan's case, that's what carried him to greatness.
Yeah, that's
And
what makes
maybe
it-
that's why I still work with you, Ne'er Do Wells, at High 97. You know what I'm saying? And it's not all about money for me. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So there are things that prohibit you from getting to that next level, which sometimes it's greed and being a psychopath.
Well, yeah, in his case, what made him a great professional hindered him as a human being.
Right.
You could tell he's still hindered as a human being. Let's just keep it real. If you're watching this, Michael Jordan's sitting there getting drunk during every interview, struggling to deal with real live emotions, clearly is an addict, an addict who's been in pain, in my opinion, for a very long time. Gambling addiction, probably drinking. To me, Jordan, he's incredible because he was a perfect athlete and just such an unbelievably flawed man. And that's what makes the doc to me interesting.
But my point is to get to some of those levels, the things you have to abandon in your humanity to get to some of these levels, if you want it. Look at all of the greats. All
Every
of them.
single one of them, yeah.
All of them got flaws that you would be like, fam, I would have never did that. But they did it because they wanted it more than you.
Well, and they wanted it more than other things in life that other people view as important.
That's right.
Like being a good person.
That's right.
Treating people well.
Yes.
Having loving relationships with people.
Yes.
So, like, that's why we always talk about this. That's why LeBron is a better human being than Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was like, look, I got my mama and I got basketball. I lost my father, that hurt. Because remember, he had his mom and his dad through a lot of his life.
Through half the championships.
Yeah. And then when he lost his dad, he took a break. And he came back probably because of what you're talking about, because he felt there was a hole. And he wanted to fill that hole, which was really the pain of his dad and other pain.
Oh, no, but he was trying to fill that hole when his dad was alive. Because remember, the gambling addiction was raging out of control when his dad was around.
His dad was with him.
Yeah, sometimes
they went together. That was family fun.
At times. Now, but also, there's so many layers to it. Because remember, you mentioned his mom. However, when his mom reached out and said, hey, we're going to support this black man who's running for Congress against the most evil white congressman who's ever lived, Jesse Helms. I'm going to be in the commercial. I'm endorsing him. Jordan said, Mom, you go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a private donation, but Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yeah, I'm getting this money.
So,
money's on the top of the list. I ain't going to hurt this bread.
Yeah. So it's a mixed bag for me when I watch this special of incredible player and some decisions as a person that I'm just like, wow, it's interesting.
They kind of jump topics there, obviously, but I mean, listen. As far as the top 10 stuff, you know, LeBron versus Jordan, because that's basically what this all comes down to. I mean, the man gave he greenlit this entire project the day of the Cavs parade, championship parade. I mean, that's where we are with this, right? I don't have a problem with the list. I need to go through the list myself and just review it, break it down. I think it's a generational conversation. Like, my father and uncles would be like, where's Oscar Robertson? Which is a fair question. The new dude's gonna be like, where's KD? And I think they say he was 14. I'm saying where's Kawhi? Because I'm gonna say this. I don't see how you can have Kevin Durant over Kawhi Leonard, personally. I need Kevin Durant to come out of the East and win a chip like Kawhi did. I don't give a damn how spectacular Kevin Durant was in the finals against LeBron James when his teammate is Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, so on and so forth. Average 35 points. Whatever. Look who your teammates are. I need you to beat them because you have them down 3-1 in the conference finals. So, listen. I recognize Kevin Durant's talent, and I don't even doubt his mental toughness so much anymore, like I used to. Especially the last series, the last game when he tried to come back early from the injury, because Golden State, they messed him up. The medical staff screwed him over. That was all kinds of wishy-washy, that whole situation. But he came out that last game and he was balling, right? So, you know, I'm not going to question his heart or anything like that necessarily. but he's got to come out of the East like Kawhi did and win a chip. Or I have to say Kawhi's the best. I have Kawhi better than Kevin Durant, man. Like, I still don't even know how Kawhi's is freaking good and how he has this kind of impact. Like, it doesn't look spectacular, but it works, man. Like, he just wins, bruh. Like, he wins. And he makes it look easy on both ends of the floor. That's all I got, man. So as far as Steph, I'm gonna have Steph over. I'm gonna have Steph over Durant as well because again, he changed the game. He literally changed the way we play, the way basketball's played. I grew up in the '90s. I grew up in the Jordan era. It was all about how high can you jump? How high can you jump? You know, that was the high end value, right? And actually in big man. Now you got kids that don't have to worry about jumping high. They could just be able to shoot and they have perceived value. You know what I'm saying? So like he brought in a totally different audience into the game as far as competition is concerned, not just consumer and as far as like a crowd or whatnot. He's actually bringing in different types of athletes into the game of basketball, and they are letting loose with the 3-point shot these days. It's crazy. Now, is the game better? That's not the conversation I'm having right now. I'm just saying that the game has been changed because of him. In some ways, yes, it's better. In other ways, it's not, right? Unanimous MVP. That season, again, I think I said earlier, I don't remember a better season, regular season than what he had. The highlight was that shot from damn near half court for the win against Durant and OKC, right? So yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, again, I think LeBron's the better overall player. I think I'll still have Jordan at the number one spot for now. Overall, as far as career, like he's had the better career, I guess. But at the same time, LeBron got a lot of miles on him, man. And it's tough. It's tough. The more I'm gonna say this, the more I watch the documentary, a lot of stuff I already seen. I grew up in the Jordan era. The different documentaries that came out as I was growing up. I saw a lot of the stuff already. Knew a lot of the stuff already. But watching it through the eyes of a grown up now, instead of watching through the lens of a kid, and watching the biggest part that people don't value that LeBron has gone through is he is the poster child of the social media era, the 24-hour sports news cycle. Jordan didn't have to deal with that. And you see in his documentary how much any kind of media flack affected him. He stepped away from the game because of it. Well, he was suspended. So it was a silent suspension, but that's a different conversation as well. But he didn't have to deal with Twitter every night after every game. He didn't have to deal with Skip Bayless, which Skip Bayless obviously wouldn't have been an issue, but it would have been somebody else playing the Skip Bayless role. A Jay Mariotti, maybe. I don't know. But he didn't have to deal with that, man. Like, and LeBron has gone through the fire. Like, I was hating on LeBron as much as anybody when he decided to go to Miami, right? Coward move, right? But he made amends. He came back home and he won the chip. You know, he's like he said, for him it was like going off to college and learning how to win. I ain't mad at that because Jordan went to play for Dean Smith, one of the greatest college coaches of all time, right? So listen, I think overall, LeBron's had the better. You know what? Now I'm starting to switch. LeBron's had the better career from overall. Even his, yeah, he's had the better career because he's even dealt with social justice issues that Jordan clearly, you know, stayed away from, right? Yeah, that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I off? Do you agree? Who's your top 10? Who you have number 1? Is Kawhi? How close do you have Kawhi in your rankings? Because he's climbing, and he's climbing quickly, in my opinion. But I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys like the video if you enjoyed this. Please subscribe, share the video with your friends. Let's try to get 25 likes on this video, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.